Cayce's 7 Prophecies Yet to Come. I'm reading from a page called sleepingprophet.org. Number 1, Can we live forever? And Cayce says, Now we find there are many changes in the body since we have had this, many for good. Many of the organs and the conditions show the changes as come about by the natural or so-called natural conditions in changes as the body succumbs to the effects of age or usage in the system. Much of this may be overcome. Man should live much longer than has been ordinarily given, and will. October 18th, 1926. Number 2. Can a perpetual motion machine be designed, a machine that fuels itself? Quote, You will have before you the gasless motor invented by 4666. Quote, Yes, we have the body and inquiring mind of 4666, also the associations and those conditions surrounding the perfection of motor, which will develop power in its own action. As has been given, the idea and the plans as have been worked out, in part along those lines, that pull more of the power as produced in compression in drum, with the leads made from these forms that gather vibrations from the air as is forced through drum, are, as we find, the better application of the created energy. In the cams, as have been used, too much slack or play is allowed for their rotation. This is in the drum's head action that these must be shortened in play. Quote, The connection of 195 and 900 with same, best that these have 4666's operations closer under their observations when the completed product is near attained. Quote, How may we bring him under our observation? Answer, Bring him to Ohio or New York. Question, Is this machine the same as brought to Washington, now by Lindbergh? Answer, No. As is here, the 4666 machine would operate on stationary conditions impelling forces. Even for now that in gas motors, for as tested by others, has more to do with that thrown in air and gaining its impelling force from that source. Question, Would it operate perpetually if perfected? Answer, Not perpetually, but once started, could be kept in motion by created energy of its own source. Other has to have some source of impellation. March 8, 1928. 3. Are we in the midst of a religious war? Quote, Hence in the present, train the entity in law, diplomatic law, that we have to deal with many countries, many problems, not only political but social and religious, for eventually the entity will see a religious war. July 24th, 1941. Number 4. Is a new root race evolving? Quote, This may not be entered without an understanding, for those that were left as guards may not be passed until after a period of their regeneration in the mount, or the 5th root race begins. July 1st, 1932. Number 5. Will the 3 halls of records be discovered? Quote, As to where the records are, in the hall of records not yet opened. September 9th, 1937. Number 6. Will there be a second coming? Question, What is meant by the day of the Lord is near at hand? Unquote. Answer, That as has been promised, through the prophets and the sages of old, the time and half-time has been and is being fulfilled in this day and generation, and that soon there will again appear in the earth that one through whom many will be called to meet those that are preparing the way for his day in the earth. The Lord then will come, even as ye have seen him go. July 9th, 1933. Number 7. What is the shape of the world to come? Quote, In the next few years, lands will appear in the Atlantic as well as in the Pacific, and what is the coastline now of many a land will be the bed of the ocean. Even many of the battlefields of the present will be ocean, will be the seas, the bays, the lands over which the new order will carry on their trade as one with another. Portions of the now east coast of New York or New York City itself will in the main disappear. This will be another generation though. Here, while the southern portions of Carolina, Georgia, these will disappear. This will be much sooner. The waters of the lakes will empty into the Gulf, rather than the waterway over which such discussions have been recently made. It will be well if the waterway were prepared, but not for that purpose for which it is at present being considered. Then the area where the entity is now located, Virginia Beach for reading, will be among the safety lands, as will be portions of what is now Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois, and much of the southern portion of Canada, and the eastern portion of Canada, while the western land, much of that is to be disturbed, in this land as, of course, much in other lands. August 13th, 1931.